was always you, Helen. It was always you.
In case you pass out, that's tough.
Candyman.
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 Candyman. Candyman.
We're going from one great film to another. Welcome back to 13 Days of Halloween here at Joe's Drive-In. Today we're headed into the 90s with, of course, Candyman. Back in the 1800s, the son of a slave grows up to become wealthy. After falling in love with a white woman, a lynch mob sawed off his hand and used stolen honeycomb to cause him to be stung to death by bees. His body was then burned, with his ashes scattered over what would become the Cabrini Green Projects. This was the birth of Candyman, an urban legend where he will appear if you say his name 5 times in the mirror. When summoned, he will appear and kill you with the hook lodged in his bloody stump. Flash forward to the modern day, where we're introduced to Helen. She's attempting to write her thesis on the legend, and willing to go to great lengths to do it. This leads her on a path to learn more about the mystery, but she doesn't believe in Candyman. Disaster strikes when Candyman shows up for real, and rest assured, he's going to make her believe. Candyman thrives on fear to keep his legend alive, and he will make sure to terrify Helen until there's no questioning that he's the real deal. Candyman is straight up scary, and there's a lot of build up to his character. This movie actually does this build up very well. A lot of horror movies can suffer for not revealing their threat right away. This is usually because everything else is really dull, but not this one. The idea of Candyman alone is scary. There is a lot of mystery surrounding the character. Nobody really seems to want to talk about him, which really builds up his reveal. The more you do learn about him keeps you invested until he finally shows up 45 minutes into the movie. That's normally a long time for a horror movie to not have a killer, let alone any kills, but this doesn't feel like it drags. The wait is well worth it as the movie delivers. Candyman himself is one of the greatest horror villains of all time. His design is really simple, but still manages to be intimidating with his long coat and hook hand combined with a powerful voice.
Be my victim.
The bees really add to the disturbing factor as well. Everyone's scared of Candyman, and with good reason. Shit, I'm scared of Candyman. Candyman is fear.
I am the writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom. Without these things, I am nothing. So now I must shed innocent blood.
It's worth noting that Candyman is also fairly groundbreaking. It's one of the very few black horror films, and possibly the first mainstream one. Now, I don't mean black made, as the director is one of the whitest dudes I've ever seen in my life. I mean just as a movie with a black horror villain and or predominantly black cast. If you think about it, there really aren't a lot, and there hasn't been much after Candyman's release other than the recent Jordan Peele films. And before Candyman, there were pretty much only selections dating back to the days of blaxploitation films, like Blackula.
Blackula. Dracula's soul brother.
Blackula is a pretty cool movie in its own right, and I definitely want to cover it in the future.
Blackula.
There's also Blackenstein.
Blackenstein.
I don't think we're ever talking about Blackenstein.
Blackenstein.
Candyman is an excellent film. The cinematography, sets, and imagery are all beautiful in the darkest way. There are so many great shots and effects. One shot I love is this one where Helen climbs into the abandoned apartment through a mural of Candyman's mouth. It's so uniquely creepy. This image flashes on screen whenever the presence of Candyman is felt. It's a very simple and subtle jump scare, but it works. I also really like this shot here. How did they even do this? The movie is filled with great set design with plenty to look at. Really wide aerial shots make the movie seem huge and grand, and they are complemented by a great score. Candyman has one of the greatest original themes I've ever heard in a movie. It's beautiful and epic, yet tragic and haunting all at the same time. So far, I've given plenty of detail on the movies I've done, but this is one of those movies where I'll ruin it if I talk about it too much. This is one you just have to see to get the experience. If you haven't gotten the chance yet, please watch Candyman. You won't be disappointed.
You're mine now.
Pleasant nightmares, friends. Good midnight to you.